Hi, I'm Patty McGarrahan from the Mind's Eye Show, and today I have with me Tracy Banaczuk, and she has been a student of mine, and she also does some of this work. And today we're going to be talking about hypnosis. She's developing a program that I can't wait for her to come out with to do with weight loss, and we're going to be discussing that today. So thank you, Tracy, for coming.
Thank you, Patty, for having me.
Excellent, excellent. So you took my hypnosis class. You got a little more stuff you're going to do with me.
Yes.
And we're going to get it done. But she brought me a script and showed me what she was working on, and I was just so impressed. I wanted her to talk about it.
Thank you so much, Patty.
You're welcome.
This class was really a wonderful class, and I really feel like I found my niche with this. It does feel, it's very easy for me. It's flowing and things of that nature. But I would like to put together a script, and I am working on it, on using the Wegovy as the theme of it, hypnosing the person as if they had had the surgery, Wegovy.
Yep. And I do something very, very similar to that. I do a hypnosis where they feel like they're having the gastric band surgery, and I do that. So I was very excited about it because the woman that I learned it from, she doesn't allow anybody else to teach it. So unless she or her one friend in Canada, it makes it so that you can't do that. So I'm excited that you're coming up with the program. I've been talking about for years revising the program, but I really love, it's Sheila Granger, it's her program. I really do love her program, and it's hard to switch a program that you already think is good. Do you know what I mean?
Right, right.
So especially the first two sessions, I can improvise on the last two very easily, but the first two, I think she does a fantastic thing for the gastric band surgery, virtual gastric band. So I love the fact that you're doing a virtual as well.
Yes, and the Wegovy being so hard to come by at this point in time, whether it's the Wegovy, the Ozempic, Mounjaro, it's very, very difficult to get your hands on it. You can't get the prescription. So I had thought that this would be a good way of, an alternative to the gastric bypass hypnosis, just a different form of hypnosis.
It's a different form, but with the same results.
Right.
Because I've had the virtual, I had a few people that came to do it, but they didn't really want to lose the weight. They were in tough relationships that they would rather not lose the weight because they really didn't want, they didn't want a relationship with their husband anymore. So they fought it. But the ones that took it and really wanted to do it, I found such great results that I really want someone to do it to me.
Right. Right. Right.
So it's because it's unbelievable how it works. So I read your script and I was absolutely impressed with it. But you were also wanting to do some other things with the hypnosis as well. And could you talk about that a little bit? Sure.
I'd love to use the hypnosis in the way of like meditation for global peace and things of that nature. I love the hypnosis aspect of it, as far as building upon
and bringing it out there.
Right.
Putting manifestation.
Yes.
Manifesting.
Yes.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. And it's so crazy because meditation, which is a form of hypnosis, it's the same thing.
Absolutely.
Is so healing and so helpful that I've had times where I'm going to do readings and I have to say to people, okay, is it all right if I do a hypnosis first?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And do a chakra clearing and a setup. And I had a woman yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I had a woman that said to me, can you tell me how you do that? And so I said to her, you want to take a few minutes? And I didn't, she was my last client of the day, so I said to her, I won't take away from your reading time. And I did it for her, and I got the most beautiful text today because people don't realize how much it helps. And the manifestation that it creates as well.
Absolutely. I've had people who I've done hypnosis with, and it was more of feeling good about yourself, self-confidence, and, easing stress and things of that nature. And I've had them tell me months later after coming to me that they still feel that. They still feel that calmness that was instilled during the hypnosis. And it's all about getting the brain to be on the right wavelength to be able to accept the messages.
And another thing too is when they do meditation, they actually breathe and put oxygen in their brain, where we have a habit, life is so busy that we don't take breaths slower than here. And then we wonder why our head is spinning at 3 o'clock in the morning. And if I remember to do it, I always laugh because a client will come in after I've had 2-3 nights where I've been up at 3 o'clock with my mind spinning. And when I say to them, oh, take 3 deep breaths and then you'll be in a much better place. And then I sit there and say, you dingbat, you need to be doing that too.
Absolutely.
But taking those breaths from the toes and then holding it for a few seconds and then releasing it, you put oxygen in the brain and it just changes your whole thought process in a very positive way. So it's a beautiful thing.
It is very much so.
Yes.
And like you said, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis as well as meditation.
Absolutely.
I know that stress-wise, it's helped me greatly. And I like to, help others with that.
Excellent. I did a shaman apprenticeship program, and in that program, the woman that did it was fantastic because she got into like every other aspect. She had a shop up in Maine, so she did it all. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So she did it, and the meditation and the breathing and the journey, we journeyed too. I found that I was going through a rough period in my life, and my stomach had been in a knot for like a year. And it was the first time that my stomach relaxed. And I became almost addicted to it, you know what I mean?
Oh, I can see that.
Because I could feel it. And when she brought me out of that meditation, I actually cried because I wanted to go back there. Because I felt at peace. And once I learned that, it made a whole difference in me fixing all the crazies that was going on in my life at the time.
Right.
And surviving the crazies,
right.
Right,
sometimes slowing down with meditation and hypnosis can impact you in positive ways like that.
Absolutely.
Just the slowing down, the taking a breath.
And I come from an ADHD family, that ADHD family, as I call it. And it's so funny because I'm one of those people that until I hit like 57, I was one of those people that slept 3 hours a night. And after 3 nights, the 4th night, I would sleep 6 hours. And all of a sudden, 57, I couldn't do it anymore. But so you're going to figure, I slept 24 hours a week. That was it. Well, the 2 daughters I have one daughter that is the same way. And then I have 2 daughters that require like 10 hours sleep a night. And each of them had a child that only required the same as me, like 3 hours, 4 hours a night. So the poor mamas were so tired. So I started doing meditation with them, the children at night, and settling them down. So even when they weren't sound asleep, they were in a peaceful state. And it helped so much that both of those daughters that I had tried to get to take hypnosis from me ended up getting certified in hypnosis to work with those children that have the active head at night, to slow them down.
Right.
Just to keep them sane from not sleeping. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. So it's an absolutely amazing feature.
It is. I also enjoy the nightly meditation that while you're sleeping. I do find that I wake up, I go through my sleep cycles. It really does help a lot.
Absolutely, absolutely. So besides weight loss, and you do mostly anxiety and relaxation?
Yes, I do a lot of relaxation. I like to be very descriptive in my hypnosis. I like to make a picture. I think it's important to make a picture.
She brought a script to me, and oh my God, that script was absolutely, absolutely fabulous.
Thank you.
The script, I was so excited. She was just showing me to just get a second opinion on it, and I was so impressed with it. You did a really, really good job.
I've had good luck with it so far.
Yes, yes.
Good luck with it so far.
So you're going to be helping people with weight loss?
Weight loss, stress. I have another friend that I'm doing the smoking cessation, trying to help her with that. And it's funny that you mention about just taking a breath, because I do incorporate that into the smoking cessation hypnosis of, it's not the cigarette that you necessarily need, it's the taking the breath.
Yep.
And I think that I had learned that through you as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes.
Excellent. Yes.
But you know,
Because
it's a
that's
hard
what-
struggle, but
you know how I discovered that too? Not from learning or going to school for hypnosis or anything. I actually was quitting smoking myself.
Okay.
And right around that same time that I took, shortly after I took the shaman class that I talked about, my life was hitting me from parents having problems, ex-husband off the wall, house full of teenagers, a husband having some business stuff going on where a brother messed up the business, you know what I mean? And it was
Right.
so it was coming from so many different ways to
Angles,
me and I had quit smoking in the middle of that. So anybody that goes to quit smoking and blames it on their life, there is no excuse. But I did stop to go to the bathroom, and I looked up, and in my head, I was thinking about buying a pack of cigarettes. And I came out and I called these 6 people my angels. There was 6 people in front of me in line, and I didn't have time to wait for them. So it ended the decision of, I hope and I try to think that I wouldn't have.
Right.
But, who knows?
Right.
I got in the car and I go back on the highway, and I take 3 deep breaths, and I go, I don't even want the cigarette.
that's amazing.
So once I realized that, I've incorporated it in my stop smoking as well.
Right.
Because I said, oh my God, I'm addicted to the deep breaths. Not the cigarettes, the fact that it makes me inhale when I have a habit of, I worked the corporate world for a long time, have the habit of never breathing lower than that.
Right.
Isn't it?
I catch myself so often holding my breath. And now I just find it more natural to breathe. Of course, you do get questioned. Everything okay? Oh, I'm just breathing.
Yep.
I'm just breathing.
Well, I laughed because in the corporate world, and it was a construction company, and I was like put the fire out person, as well as kind of controller safety office. I had kind of like a bunch of different titles. And I got to tell you, over there, I had to give away my Apple Watch because it kept saying, breathe, 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 and it drove me nuts.
Right.
One of my granddaughters, I took it off and said, here, you can have it, and who was thrilled, by the way, that grandma.
Absolutely.
But it was one of those things that I realized there, and I would leave there and go to my shop and do meditation.
Right.
And that's when I realized, okay, I got to start working at a goal to leave the corporate world and do this. It's so much healthier for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is.
I've been in the corporate world as well, so I completely understand. It's so fast-paced. And even now in healthcare now, I'm eventually looking to, make my way more into like hypnosis fully and guided meditation, more into that area.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, no, it is. It's absolutely crazy. And I have a boss who he's like a brother to me. I love dearly, but he never let the company even out. As soon as it started to, it's like slam it that way. So, and it was the 2 different worlds. I'm one of those people that like to go to the movies and have Raisinets and popcorn and have your taste buds go crazy. That's why I've never had to use drugs in my life because I'm a crazy lady. I find other things, So I love flipping from the left side of the brain to the right.
Yes.
So that wasn't a problem, but then it was getting tiresome at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're working in the corporate world or even the nursing world,
Yes.
you're having to flip from the left to the right.
Yes, and I look so much forward to doing these types of things, the hypnosis,
Yes. Oh, excellent.
to get me out of that side of the brain.
Get you out of that side of the brain. Yes, it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So, so one of the goals is to finish up that program, and we're going to be doing some work metaphysical on
Yes.
that, because in that program, talk about a little bit about some of the things that we're discussing, some methods too.
So what I love about the metaphysical piece is the introduction to the past life regression and different lives and soul contracts and things of that nature, and diving deep with the metaphysical of being able to bring those things out, because it is impacting people from losing weight. Like you said, the women that they're signing up for the gastric bypass, and then when it comes down to it, they're not ready, because what's really holding you back?
And it's the same with stop smoking.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And we have to be so much more creative than they had to be 23 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, because like if I'm doing stop smoking, you have to involve now the vaping.
Right.
And so I've got a program now, or a script. I've figured out how to tweak the script to stop that.
Right.
But then the other thing that you have is you have a lot of them that smoke pot and they want to give up the cigarettes.
Oh, that's right.
So you have to work on that as well.
To tailor it.
To tailor it. And I had a gentleman that's one of my best success stories. His family goes to the cigar bar on Thursday night, so all the guys smoke the cigars and stuff, and having to keep the cigar bar tradition in, but get rid of the cigarettes. And so you have to just keep saying, the cigarettes are gone, the cigarettes are gone, the cigarettes are gone. And it's crazy, but it works really well.
Right.
So I've just found very, very successful. I find the women are easier with the pot thing. And
Okay.
and both of them, I found the vape thing very successful.
That's great.
Yeah. So it makes a huge difference.
Yes, it
So
does.
past life regression is so healing. And I was following a news story through the Hypnosis Association and everything. And this news story, I think I told in class, but it was about a woman that was 600 pounds. Yes. And she couldn't even leave her house. And what happened was they tried everything and nothing was working. And a gentleman came and said, can I try past life regression on her? And it ended up that in that past life regression, it was, she was in an Arabian tribe, and she was in a harem. And she was the youngest and the prettiest. And the gentleman, the old man that was in charge of that, he was very kind and caring. And so she got picked most of the time. So that was fine. And then he died, and the gentleman that took over was really mean. And so she got very, very heavy, so that way she didn't have to deal with them. And it just carried over and multiplied in this lifetime, which is just, you know, and I followed her. She had lost, after the hypnosis, 8 months after the hypnosis, she had lost 225 pounds.
That's incredible.
With doing nothing else. But having the realization was where it came from.
Right.
That's exciting.
That is exciting, because it's such a large portion of people. You know, sometimes the issues, and I would say most of the time, there's so much more to the issue than just the fact of losing weight. Like you said, with the past life, it was having to dive deep and to go through all those layers to find that out.
And it's so healing, so healing. I had a really wonderful lady that came to me. She did like every program I did. I used to do Saturday mornings, weight loss, and you know, different ones, and nothing was working for her. And yet, hypnosis worked for her and a lot of other things. So when I did the virtual gastric band, I just knew in one of the sessions I had to do the soul retrieval, which is what you mentioned. Come to find out, she put a contract out in this lifetime, but she had put a contract out there. She had a guy that she was with that wasn't nice, but in the process she was very attached to his children. And the children would want to have them hang. And when they did, he loved her, the pretty girl on the arm. So she ended up putting on the weight so she could be with the kids and not have to deal with him.
Oh, okay.
And now he was long past in a relationship. She couldn't get rid of it. And as soon as she broke that contract. So there's so many exciting methods, aren't there? There's
Yes,
so
there
many
are.
exciting methods with hypnosis.
Yes, the different modalities can really help to really uncover what's going on there.
And a lot of times it's something that we don't even think
Right.
of. And you know, a past life regression, afraid of water, and you find out they drowned in a life. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? Stuff like that. Afraid of heights. I fell from somewhere. I don't know where.
Right.
Because I have a real fear of heights.
Okay.
I have third step of a ladder, and I'm like, ugh.
Right.
Yeah. And I thought it was because I'm klutzy, but I'm just scared of heights.
That's incredible, though, how much it can impact you. Mm-hmm. You know, not even say being from this lifetime, or it's really great.
Yes.
And so interesting.
It is. It is. I had a girlfriend. She had a thing where every once in a while, like she had a lot of stomach problems, big stomach problems, and she'd drink a cup of tea. And this is before I learned hypnosis or anything, but I was intrigued by it. Mm-hmm. And Frank Santos, very famous
yeah, I
Rhode
remember.
Island. Everybody knows him as the R-rated
Yes.
hypnotist. But he also did work up at CCRI and stuff like that, and he ran a class. And unfortunately, I couldn't get babysitting, so I couldn't go. But my brother and a couple of my friends and everything went up there, and she got picked. And she did a pass. Come to find out, the doctors couldn't figure out why. She'd gained 10 pounds drinking a little cup of tea. Like her whole thing would float.
Wow.
And it was just really crazy. And they did a past life regression, and they discovered that she was stoned to death for stealing bread or something like that, and she was stoned to death in another lifetime, and the injuries that she had that she kind of held on to,
Right.
And I think she died from in that lifetime, if I remember correctly, were all involved. But once she did that, it never happened to her again.
That's incredible.
Isn't that cool?
That is.
It's exciting. It's
Yes.
actually exciting.
It is.
And that is another thing that made me interested in it.
Yeah,
So-
the amount of people you can help.
Yes. I have a mentor student that's now doing, and it's very healthy and healing. He's actually doing mediumship with a guy that's doing magic, and they're combining mediumship, not mediumship, the hypnosis type of thing, so the mentalist.
Okay.
It's the mentalist and the thing, and he's going to be giving me a tape in January, and I'll make sure everybody gets to see it.
Yes, that'll be great to
because
see.
he's pretty fantastic, this kid.
That's wonderful.
So isn't that?
Yeah.
I taught him during COVID and everything. I taught him online.
That's great.
Isn't that cool?
That is.
Yeah.
That is.
So it is. So tell me some of your goals. Are you hoping someday that you do this kind of work, like more of as your thing?
Yes, that is my goal, is to get more into doing this like on a regular basis. I know there's a lot that I still need to take as far as those extra modalities, but yeah, I'd like to continue getting further into the hypnosis, and especially the metaphysical, because that's where it really looks like you can do the most.
You know what I find with metaphysical? It's I always say this too. There's Reiki and then there's Karuna Reiki. Karuna Reiki has the more metaphysical symbols.
Okay.
So in other words, it has the symbol that's the beginning of your life, or addiction, this, that, and they're very specific.
Okay.
You can do everything with your symbols from regular Reiki, or so can't you with the conventional hypnosis.
Okay.
But what I feel is the metaphysical hypnosis backdoors things.
Yes.
So, you know, some hypnotists might not like that, but I love the one-session wonders. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I'd rather have them come back if they want something completely different.
Yes,
you know,
than the same problem.
than the same problem. So I love the one session, and a lot of times, like that woman that I had talked about, once we ended that contract with her, bada boom, never a problem since. And that was probably 10, 12 years ago.
It sounds like it just happened so quickly. That's
is.
just mind-boggling to
It's
me.
amazing. It's getting that subconscious mind. So those of you that aren't aware of what hypnosis is, we have to get past that critical mind.
Right.
The critical mind is so important because it's the thing that tells you don't step in front of a car. So it's got a very strong importance.
Right.
You know, correct?
Keeping you safe.
Yes, absolutely. So, but it also has your belief systems as you have it. So if you believe I am a smoker, or you have in your head, I'm always going to be heavy because I've got to eat food. You know, that's
Right.
my, or whatever belief systems you have, they're in your critical mind. So when people relax and they go into a meditative state, they get past that. And that is a wonderful thing, because when they get past it, their subconscious changes it.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it does. It's much easier to work with somebody that's under hypnosis, to let down their guard and to let the suggestions in that are going to ultimately help them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you do a wonderful job with that. You do.
Thank you.
So I have a lot of students, and some of them are just meant to do it. And I really think that you're one of the ones that are meant to do it.
It feels so natural.
And it comes very natural to her.
Yes.
So in here, Tracy, are you on Facebook? Or
I am on Facebook.
okay. So what is your Facebook under?
I believe it's Tracy Banaczuk.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Tracy
We
Banaczuk.
laughed because I was trying to spell her name earlier.
Yes.
And it was, and I had to do it on your certificates.
Yes.
But so Tracy Banaczuk, and if anybody has a problem getting a hold of her, they can just call me and find out from me, and I can get in touch with her. So I love it when my students getting their clients and start doing the work on this
You're a
stuff.
wonderful
And
teacher.
Thank you.
You
Thank
really
you.
are.
It's a favorite of mine. It is. I love teaching. I absolutely
can tell.
love teaching.
I can tell.
I get excited about the whole thing for sure. So you can get a hold of me, or you can do Tracy Banaczuk, and just spell your last name.
B as in boy, ANACZUK.
I wasn't going to try it.
No,
'cause
that's okay.
I was going to do it. And yeah, so I do see
Facebook.
I see an absolute fabulous future for you in it.
Thank you.
So you're setting the program up. She's got the beginning of the program done, and she's going to finish up the program and do it to it. So
That's it.
Yeah, and have it done. So in here, let's go into a couple of the things. What are some other things that you do hypnosis for?
Really, I can do it for anything. I was actually trying to put together this year, but I want to do something for around the holidays to like reduce stress, getting through the holiday, how you see it. I really want to do a lot about you as a person envisioning what you want, and then we can sit down and we can talk about it. And then I like to cater. So I would like to cater my hypnosis
that's
too.
what makes you a really good hypnotherapist, is because you can cater.
Right.
Because we were talking about the stop smoking, how you have to cater to the one that does this and does that.
Right.
And to be able to cater on some of those other aspects, I think is terrific.
And even the way that we learn. Everybody learns differently. Some people are more visual, so a lot of people need more visual, whereas others, they don't need so much description. It's really about learning what your client needs,
Right.
and then tailoring it to
And
them.
I do have the clients a lot of times do that thing where they
Yes,
check
the questionnaire.
off a questionnaire, and the questionnaire, it lets us know, they just check off quick if it applies to them, so you can understand whether you don't want to be when they're in hypnosis saying see if they don't see when they're under.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So, and it lets you know
Yes.
whether they see, hear, or feel.
Exactly. And that's so important.
And my favorite are when they have a little bit of all of it. And I say, woo woo, I can kind of do it to it. But you have to be adaptable.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because not everybody takes information in the same way.
Nope, never even realized until I started teaching some of this stuff how different
Yeah.
we are.
Yeah.
And I have a 12-year-old grandson that lets me know that all the time. You know, even with the mediumship. Grandma, you get it this way, and you feel this, and then you see that, and then you do that, and then I
Right.
get it this totally different. You know.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's really a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
And Tracy Banaczuk on Facebook. And then if you need more information or you want to get a hold of her, just get a hold of the Mind's Eye, and I will connect you with Tracy.
Thank you,
And
Patty.
thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.